and I'm running out of days, so we got to get cracking. All right, today is FJ day again. Coming down to the wire, we gotta get some stuff done. Today's goals: I gotta box these little pieces in around here, get this all buttoned up. Fuel lines have got to go on it, and the bed has to be on and done, and the rear bumper. I need the back half of this truck done. We're gonna handle this bed. I'm gonna knock it out. Fuel is gonna be to the front of the truck. I gotta pipe these up out. I gotta make sure this all clears the bed. I may have to drop the fuel tank just a hair. I already know this is in the way, so it's coming out. I don't need it. I gotta box this in, make another mount right there. I got some stuff to get done. Inner fenders have got to go in it. Here we go.
Okay, so he talked about removing this rail right here. I tried grinding that and I can't see the spot welds, but you can see them from the inside. There's one on the top and one on the bottom. So we'll just have to go ahead and drill those out and get them to the point where we can do as minimal amount of a hole and still get that to come off of there.
All right, so we got some stuff happening. Got Randall over here. He's welding up all the holes in the bed. We'll grind those off. I just currently finished the gusset work on that, and then all of the gusset work in here on the frame. So rear end is getting done. My next job is going to be plumbing fuel lines. So I'm going to let it down, put the shocks back on it, and get some fuel lines plumbed, and then we'll know a little bit better of what we got. All right, so Randall's continually welding and grinding over here. I am running fuel lines. So I bought these cool little fittings. You just thread this down on the hose, and then you tighten this other part up, sucks it in there, makes it so it'll hold whatever pressure I need. So we're gonna run all of this line, return and pressure line up through the frame, and then we can set the bed on. We're getting closer. All right, so we're currently struggling. We've got problems. We want this thing to run, but the main problem we have is I ordered a fuel filter and did not get the ends for it. I just ordered them, but they ain't gonna be here for a bit, so that slows us down. And then my fuel lines wouldn't go in here, so now I can plug this on, run a fuel line up to it. I think this problem is handled. I'm going to try to get all my fuel up here. This is my fuel regulator. It's going to mount back here on this firewall, something like that, and then I'll have fuel pressure will come up from the tank and come into this side, come under, back in. It'll circulate through here, around, come back into this, and return out of here down to the tank. We're getting things handled. We'll have fuel lines plumbed today. We won't be able to put fuel to it because I don't want to run anything through that without a filter on it, because I don't want to plug injectors and cause myself problems. But maybe next week when those parts show, we'll be able to start it. So we've got fuel lines plumbed clear from the back. They're not tied down or anything. They're hooked to the tank. So we're going to get them up in close to where they need to be. We'll figure out which line's which first. All right, this little tune digger is going to go on like so. We'll make sure we got the line where we want it. We'll cut it and plumb it in, and there will be fuel to there. It's pumping dar. But you're way too early in the day.
I'm just going to work.
Well, too late in the day. You might as well just stay here and help. I think this has to go to the bottom side. Okay, I got to come with this right into the side, and then that goes out the bottom. We're about to be fuel lined. We're getting way closer at it anyway. This is for boost if we ever decide to.
Oh, to put nitrous?
So it'll up your fuel pressure with the, not nitrous, just turbo or something. If we ever had to. I mean, if the Morvair outruns this thing, we're pulling it home and putting a turbo on it. That's all there is to it.
Nitrous to it.
Yeah.
Pulling the 5.3 and going straight to a 6.0.
There's no doubt. We can't be outrun by Matt. That's our whole friendship has been a competition.
Yeah, when we went to Delta to drag that truck out of the middle of that mud hole, they had to race back to the edge of the pond
The Toyota's not a rocket
No.
ship. That thing is a...
It's a work dog.
It is. This one, I hope, runs a little better than that. I hope it has some extra horse ponies hidden somewhere. That's almost like I knew what I was doing right there.
Like it looks like it's supposed to.
That's the first thing I've built today that's worked. There we go.
So what
I just need a cap on that one. I think we got fuel.
Okay, well, got this all done. It's not the prettiest thing I've ever seen, but hopefully it'll pass Paul's inspection.
Well, we got ready for a test fit. Sorry.
This don't fit on this side. From the holes on this, it looks like it's actually got to come back about a ½ inch too.
It's pretty close. It's gonna be dang close. She'll fit way down lower than it did. All right, we're building some spacers because my fuel inlet hits the top of the bed. We didn't plan on that. We're fixing it. We're gonna space it down and that should solve all of our issues. We'll just put those spacers underneath there. I'll space it down and this won't hit my bed anymore. All right, drill those and we'll get some longer bolts. Okay, so what's going down here is I planned my fuel tank out, but I didn't plan for these. So what we're doing, we dropped the fuel tank 1 inch. That makes all this clear everything, makes everything happy. We're still clearing some differential, just barely, but we're clearing, that's all that matters. So what I'm gonna do is drill some holes in this. I'll tack weld this all together. She'll be good as new. Back, we're gonna do a little different. We're gonna run actual continual piece clear across it because if I hit something on this, it's gonna try to bend this up and I don't want it to. So we're gonna put another piece clear across her. Then we'll be able to tack weld it together all the way across. Should be rock solid then. And then we'll tie the bottom piece into it, just like we did this top. Should be good to go. Y'all wonder why I don't throw all my stuff away. I need 1 inch of this tube. Anything that's worth saving gets thrown in the bottom of there and then I know I can look for it and it's right here where I can find it. So I'll cut this in half, notch these, and we'll be race ready.
So you guys can see and understand, it's gonna be that right there so that them bolts can clear that with a smooth round edge on them.
Okay, look at that. Almost like we planned it. We're moving on to a bumper right now. It's happening. So I've decided I'm just gonna build the bumper out of this 2x4 square tube. We'll cut it, put it across there, then we'll angle the corners down on both sides, put a receiver hitch in it. Oh, some little tabs on the back for pulling, because I gotta be pulling stuff. 52 inches of rectangle tube coming up. So my game plan with this thing is, I need to come down 1 inch because that's what's gonna protect my body that I have on there. And then I'm gonna angle it over to the bottom of the frame. So we'll mark 1 inch. That right there should be that. Come in 4.5 on each side. And I should be able to take, draw that angle on it and that angle on it. And that should be our angle with our 1 inch side piece. We'll just take some 2 inch flat strap all the way up, round that off. Then we'll find the dead center of it, cut our receiver hitch out and put it in the middle of that. And then we'll put some hooks off of either side of it and we'll weld it in. Alright, we'll grind those up, cap them, figure this out, cut it. Then we got some tricky little stuff to do for the lights. Looks like 5 3/8. We get this properly. That will fit there, and that will fit there. We left some gap so that we can weld it and round the edges over. So it's gonna be good. We'll get to welding. We'll have this thing whipped. Beautiful. One more side like that and we'll have a piece of metal. We won't have a bumper, but we'll have a piece of metal. She's flat and it has tapered ends. That's about all we got going for us at this point. What we need to do now is find the exact center. 52.5 inches. What's half of 52.5? It'd be 26 1/4. Yeah, 26 1/4. So what we'll do, cut a hole in it, weld it right in there, almost where this touches, and then we'll put some angle things on the side of it, maybe a couple off the top. It'll never come out of there. Okay, I cut that out. It should slide right through there and we can get that welded in. And then we got the fun stuff to do after that. We got to get our tail lights recessed down in. Cut the frame off, set it up, figure that out. I'll do this first. Good sign when it falls out the same hole. That's usually not. That's a pretty good sign. Oh yeah, that gives me plenty of gap to weld. Good enough. Buff it up, grind it out, weld it in. Okay. Says that square. That looks square?
It looks square.
Alright, here we go. Well, the first pass is on it. It'd probably hold, but that's the root pass. Now we'll put a good bead around it and it'll never come off of there. Alright, so we got some stuff from you awesome fans. You guys are great, really. So Tony Smith hooked me up with some 10mm sockets, of course, because you can never have too many 10mm sockets. And this sweet jump pack, which we will use a lot. My kids are always jumping their old lawnmowers and junk around the yard, and I always need one of those. So thank you very much, Tony. Also, we got this from the guys over at Moe's Clamp. These guys are awesome. These you clamp on sheet metal and you can pull them back out. A couple of sweet clamps. We will use these things. We got some projects coming up in the future that we are definitely gonna need some body and fender work on. Not to mention the old golden nugget. It's never-ending body work. Thank you guys very much. Back in the shop this morning. This is the dilemma I've got right now. I wanted an LED taillight and I couldn't find an LED taillight that was actually for this FJ. I got some that are a little longer that go like this. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna section this out, move it back over here, and make that tail light fit in that hole. Then I can cut the bumper. I have to recess this piece down in here so the tail light has a place to shine. I guess I'm gonna get after this and see if I can't get this done real quick. Then we can start inner fender wells. I can get my gas door put on right here. There's never ending stuff to do on this thing and I'm running out of days, so we got to get cracking. Alright, so I got it done. I'm no body guy, but it's good enough. That's the gist of her. She's gonna set in there something like that. I gotta build the mounts for the back of it right now, but gonna work. I'll hurry and cut that other one out. I won't bore you with it. And we'll get this thing mounted, have taillights in it, then I can finish the bumper. They're gonna fit, everything's good. I'll get to notching this rear bumper. So what has to happen is I have to knot, the bumper comes across right through here. So I gotta cut a notch in the bumper to match that. So I'll get that done and then we'll be getting somewhere. That should do her. Now we just got to cut some 2-inch flat strap, lay it in there, and weld her up. Oh yeah, that'll work. I can weld that. So look at it, that's what she looks like. We'll grind all this up nice and smooth. And then I'm going to cut the receiver tube off. It's too long for my liking, so I'm going to take 1 inch off of it and wrap a piece of square tube or square stock around it and weld it back on. And then we'll be done. As you can see, the dips are in it. We'll get it squared up here. I'll get it tacked on. You'll have to tell us in the comments if you think it looks good. I haven't made my mind up if I love it or not yet, but I think it's all right. I think that's what dreams are made out of. I can't see why that won't just look good. Can you?
Pretty nice.
I think it's gonna be okie dokes. Settled, I'm welding her in. So Randall just brought up a point. He was wondering if he thought this was too much out here, but I told him why I did it. So there's only this much bed that back here, and I didn't want something coming in and bending it. So I figured if I hung this over 2.5 inches, that would protect this bed from getting all beat up if I happen to back into a rock or something. And it's just barely below it right here. So it should hit this before it hits my bed. There is a method to my madness. I just forget to explain it sometimes to everybody why I'm doing what I'm doing, but that's why I'm doing this. The more I look at it, the more I like it. It was good. I need to cut that off, I think, and wrap our square stock. I don't have any right now, so I'm not doing that yet. I guess we can tip that bed up, weld those 2 mount pieces in it, and then we can put the bed on for a while. I like it, man. That's actually looking like progress right there. We'll fix this rust in here, and then the tailgate's done. We can bolt the hinges on it. Geez, I think we're to the inner fenders finally. The Yoda is coming together. Yeah, she's junk. We can fix it. Adjusted. Basically, I just gotta drill and tap, put the others on here, drill and tap it. Tailgate will be done. Winning. There's one.
So does that tapping oil work like it always was dreamed to do?
Seems to. Okay, so this should open. You open that all the way, then she'll come down. Cool. There she is. Now we gotta go try to get that bolt out right there, because that goes into there like so. We'll drill a couple holes. Can't see why that right there is not gonna be the ticket. How close to center did we get it?
It looks pretty centered.
Yep, still got to get the bolt out of it. Gonna break. Go get a bigger one. We'll let her heat soak for a second here. Where's that freeze all?
I bet that stuff's flammable.
Oh yeah, it's coming out already. I can see it.
Hey, that just broke off again. More on
Turn the
there.
fan on. Go open the door. Hurry. Like fast. We have a backdraft situation going. Yeah,
That's always
It's gonna come out this time. I can feel it.
Here comes more of that. Smelling smoke.
Oh, I called it.
Somebody did drill those holes out. He did bring me a 3/8 drill bit, evidently. I didn't look at it. Well, if the tailgate still opens. That's beautiful. Oh, that's mint. Look at that.
That's like,
That's pretty. That's good. I'm happy with that, man. All right, so we got this handled. Tailgate's functional. So what we're gonna do now is jump to the inside of the cab, and we're gonna put the floor back together so we can get seats put in it, and then I can start on all the controls. So we'll do that.
all right, well, we gotta take all of this stuff out of here. Gotta take the old fuel pump off. We're gonna pull all this wiring out. There's stuff in here that I have no clue about, but we're gonna get it all pulled out and cleaned up.
Well, this is the dipstick my transmission had in it. That's a derby dipstick that I made. It's not gonna work for us. So we're putting this one in it, but the tab was in the wrong spot, so I ground it off. Now I'm putting it to another hole in the head, and we'll tack it back together. Yep. Just like that. That was pretty easy. Now if it'll weld and I don't burn holes in the tube, problem solved. These are brake components that we need right here. We're gonna see how hard this is gonna be to bolt up. First things first, let's see if it even remotely fits in the area that it needs to fit in. Negative, Ghost Rider. That's not gonna be horrible. I can put it in there. We're gonna go ahead and pull that. Okay, I think we can deal with that. We're gonna have to do some trimming on this thing. It's gonna fit good right there. That's better for me on the brake when I like it. We'll put that in there maybe. Well, it fits. It's gonna be what we need. All right, so we got a pile accomplished today. Things are looking good. So as you can see, we've got fuel pressure regulator set in here. Fuel lines are on it. We've got a brake master cylinder, which is connected to a pedal inside that actually functions. We are winning this battle slowly. Next time, we're going to get steering put in it, orbital valve. We'll try to get things buttoned up so we can fire this sucker up. We are coming along, but we've had enough for today. It's dark, snowing outside, so we're done. Thanks for watching.